Good evening and welcome back to Mr. Radio Face, the show where typically I'll have a conversation with you whilst trying to complete a golf challenge. At the moment I'm doing 10 in a row putts, but as you can see if you're watching this as a video and not just listening to it, today I am not doing the putting challenge, and that is solely I don't have the time. I apologise. I didn't make a commitment, but I will try and talk through my day for 10 to 12 minutes because that was the original plan. So sorry about that. If you can tell by my voice, obviously I'm not on the microphone. I'm just on kind of the telephone headphones and the mic that's attached to that, so sorry about that. That's just life. It gets in the way sometimes. So if there's traffic noises, if there are bumps and anything that your imagination can think of, I'm sorry for the background noise, but we'll get this done. I'll be totally honest, I'm exhausted. I'm stuck in traffic and I left the house about 10 and a half hours ago, and I'm still between half an hour and 45 minutes away from being home. So just a long day, feeling a bit run down, feeling a bit tired, and it's only Wednesday. Well, that's why I've started this, so I can talk through these things. And energy levels are a huge thing, right? If you don't take care of yourself, how are you ever going to expect to have good energy throughout the day? And that's what's happened today. I had a very poor night's sleep yesterday. The cat and the dog sadly just wouldn't settle down, and kind of kept me and my wife awake for a lot of the evening. And my wife's feeling it as well. We're just super tired. So if you don't have a good night's sleep, you don't have a good start to the day. I tried to kind of get things back on track by having an early breakfast, and it was high in protein and cheese, so protein and fats, and then a coffee, and it just couldn't swing me around, and then I ended up having a terrible sandwich from Tim Hortons. So not a good diet, not a good sleep, and then a long day on top of that. So it's kind of standard to not feel your best. So it's nothing to do with mood and being in a bad mood. It's all just to do with energy or lack thereof. Work was absolutely fine. I'm just tired. And I've got a lot of stuff to do when I get back, so yeah. At least I'm uploading something, and at least I'm spending the time to talk through some thoughts and feelings in my head. And tomorrow I do have a long day, but hopefully it goes a bit smoother than today. So what I'll talk about briefly is just how it's important to try not to let other people's mistakes edit how you feel or tackle the day. So this morning I got to a job site, and the property management company hadn't gave the residents of that building any kind of notice that we're going to be showing up and doing the work that we needed to do. So after an hour and a half going back and forth, the property manager finally admitted that they were wrong, and they had to delay our job until like next week. Now, the only reason I'm kind of telling you that is it's pretty much the only eventful thing from my day. I had residents getting angry with me for being there, and I had a property manager getting angry at me for being there. I had to go through a lot of work emails and stuff like that to prove that they had adequate notice, but being a good citizen, I just, agreed to do the work on a different day instead. Cost me money, cost me time, but here's what it is. You want to keep the customer happy, and you want to keep them recurring as a recurring customer. So the lesson there is that try not to act out in the moment. I could have lost my shit. I'm sorry for swearing, but I could have lost my shit with the property manager because I was very confident that the mistake was theirs. And I could have argued until I was blue in the face to prove that they were in the wrong, but instead of doing that, I just pulled up an email, sent that through, and just used that as proof. I was calm, I was collected, I was respectful to people who were not offering the same courtesy to me. And listen, I'm guilty of losing my temper, but it's times like this which put it into perspective that remaining calm with people, remaining respectful and courteous with people goes a lot further than rising to their childish, angry behavior. So that's a win. And that's the win for today. Despite lack of sleep, despite lack of nutrition, despite all of these things, there's no excuse for being a bad human being to other human beings or animals or nature or anything. You're gonna have bad days, but try not to let your bad days ruin someone else's and leave a bad image of yourself in the eyes of others. Yeah, they're my words of wisdom. Not that anyone listens to these, but I've just talked through it myself, and I'm going to continue to live by that because I'm going to have more bad days. But keep calm, keep collected, be respectful, be kind, and you'll go a long way. Hopefully. I'll find out if I go a long way, but stay tuned to find out if I do. But I'll leave you with that. So take care, and until next time.